Okay, hi, my name is Historia Loya, and I'll be presenting a PowerPoint for TOK about how we look for answers. So, faith, which will be the first way of knowing we will assess, is as important as way of knowing as reason. Now, reason cannot explain the fact that a 5-year-old Juliana wishes to give up life instead of going to hospital. Logically, this decision does not make sense because it's unreasonable that someone, a 5-year-old child who barely knows what the meaning of life is, can decide whether she lives or dies. Faith, as a way of knowing who some believe is the opposite to reason, implies that we should trust that we will be okay in the present or future. And reason is a way which we know by logically evaluating evidence that we have around us. And here, for example, the evidence would be, well, if there is an age where I become legal and responsible for my own choices, then it would not make sense that someone who is a 5-year-old would have a choice of this magnitude to give up life. So if you would use reason here, you would not get to any right answer. So thus, when facing a situation where future is unknown, we are left with two choices. Either we have faith, we trust that everything will be okay, or lean on a reason and try to find a logical response for what we face. However, as I explained earlier, reason isn't a reasonable choice because it is hard to evaluate something as unexplainable as death. Unlike faith, if we trust that we will be okay, we trust the system, then we'll be fine. When referring to the system, I refer to how does faith play a part in religious systems. A religious system serves to respond to fundamentals of life purpose and meaning. In the case of Juliana, for example, faith comes into play as a way of trusting the religion which we are or they are part of. This religion is Catholicism, and she believes that she will go to heaven and meet her grandparents. So here in this scenario, there is a trade-off between personal and shared knowledge and how they come together to know what she knows. So she uses personal knowledge, which is her pain and suffering every time she goes to hospital. So she, with her suffering and her pain, she decides to lean or to have faith in a shared knowledge which would be the religious systems. And so by having faith, by trusting that she will be okay in heaven, she decides to die, to make that choice. So she bases her knowledge on personal knowledge, her pain, and shared knowledge, the religious systems, and how faith plays a part in that. Because in a religious system isn't built upon something logical. You have to trust what the church says and believe in your God. Now, how does reason as a way of knowing have to do with ethics? Ethics is usually associated with morality, sometimes as one and the same. However, ethics is the study of morality. Like faith in religious systems, sometimes reason can be used to explain how we know what is right or wrong in terms of ethics. Deontology is the part we will focus, demonstrates the reason behind how what we do right or not. And deontology, as a way of explaining, is something a computer would do. For example, something logical. Your duty. Killing is wrong. Lying is wrong, regardless of the consequences. If you follow these rules, then you are a moral person. Of course, this isn't the only ethical way of viewing morality, but it is one that does have to do with reason because it has logical steps that help you understand or help you know that what you are doing is right or wrong. If you would try to use faith here, you could, but faith wouldn't play a part because in faith you would have to believe that the system is right. Here you have evidence that what you are doing is the correct thing to do.